Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we cover everything about investing, building, and renting villa in Bali. In today's video, we're giving you a full market update covering property prices, investment trends, and what you need to know if you're thinking of buying real estate in Bali in 2025. So, let's dive in. First, let's talk about the big trends. Areas like Canggu, Pererenan, and Uluwatu are seeing a significant growth, while new hotspots like Kedungu are emerging as the next Canggu. We are also noticing a shift towards Mediterranean, Moroccan, and Greek designs, with buyers prioritizing aesthetics and design against functionality and comfort. That being said, we're also seeing a growing demand for buyers who are moving away from the modern minimalist trend and looking to return to the roots of tropical Balinese architecture styles that were popular 10 to 15 years ago. This shift is an interesting trend to watch as it could influence new villa developments in the coming years. We have so many people asking about the risk of market collapse, and this is a great question. So from an inflation perspective, the risk of a market collapse is low. Unlike many other markets, Bali's real estate sector is entirely cash-based, meaning there are no mortgage or public financing options. This greatly reduces the risk of a housing bubble or financial crisis, like we saw in the US in 2008, where excessive lending caused mass defaults and a market crash. Since buyers in Bali purchase properties outright, so there is no risk of a mass foreclosures that suddenly triggering the price drop. The second potential risk is a government regulations. While policy changes could impact the market, it's crucial to note that it is not in the government's interest to devalue Bali's real estate sector, as it contributes significantly to the economy. However, one key area to focus is rental income taxation. Actually, nearly 50% of Bali villas do not fully comply with rental tax regulation, and other REITs are now making effort to enforce these payments more strictly. So, for investors, this means ensuring proper licensing and tax compliance is more important than ever. So, if you work with the right team and legal experts, you can mitigate this risk and invest with confidence. If you have more questions about the market, please drop them in the comments below and we will cover that in the future video. Now let's talk numbers. The average price per area in Canggu has increased by around 20% in the past year, with leasehold villas starting at around 145,000 USD. In Pererenan, prices are slightly lower but rising fast. Investors are still seeing strong returns, with short-term rentals yielding an ROI of 10 to 15% in prime areas, and even higher if managed correctly. However, we've also noticed that the inland expansion of Canggu is slowing down in terms of short-term rental demands. For example, we had a property further inland that yielded a lower than average ROI when rented short-term. So to adapt, we decided to list it as a yearly rental, and within 1 week, we secured a long-term tenant at a 15% ROI for the next year. So this demonstrates that in areas outside prime location, shifting toward monthly or yearly rentals can be a great alternative to maximize your returns. The demand for long-term rentals is massive as more tourists relocating to Bali for extended stays. Meanwhile, prime locations are continue to perform exceptionally well with no signs of slowing down. The scarcity of available land in this area ensures that property rental returns remain strong. The slowdown in Canggu's inland expansion is actually a great news for the West Coast, and we are seeing exponential growth towards Kedungu, both from commercial and residential standpoint. This is why we are expanding into Kedungu, where land prices have surged by 200% in just the past 2 years, with many Canggu-based business relocating to the area. So, is now a good time to invest? The short answer, yes, but strategy matters. With Bali's tourism booming and digital nomads continuing to relocate here, the market is evolving and location is now more important than ever. So if you're thinking about investing, Consider prime location or secondary location for strong rental ROI, emerging areas like Kedungu for long-term capital appreciation, and adapting rental strategies in areas where short-term demand is shifting. The key is to work with experienced professionals to ensure you are making the right investment choices. That's it for today's Bali real estate market update. If you found this video helpful, give these videos a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates. And if you're really seriously considering investing, check out the links on the description for exclusive listing and investment opportunities. See you next time!